All right, three, two, one. Hey, friends, it's your boy Keith with another episode of the Dating Shame. Yeah, we're in episode 59. Yeah, we're in episode 59. We're getting it up there. We're getting it up there. Tonight's show, we have another good topic tonight. Uh, we're going to be talking about the cost of manipulation. That's interesting. Manipulation. We know we all do it in some form or another. You know, we all guilty of it. We can't get around it. And so we're going to talk about it on tonight's show. But before we get started, as always, I have to throw that disclaimer in. Uh, as always, uh, the views and the opinions of the show, that's the Dating Shame, is strictly of the host. That's me. And we have a new co-host. We have Miss Christina. Hello, Miss Christina.
Hello, how are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
That's good. That's good. And so, like I said, the views and the opinions is strictly of the host. That's me and my co-host, Miss Christina. And if we step on any toes, it's purely incidental. But we all know if the shoe fits, wear it. That's what it is. So yeah. So now we got it out the way. So Miss Christina, my new co-host, you ready for the show?
Yes.
You are? All right. That's what's happening. So now, you tell me, Miss Christina, the cost of manipulation. We all know what that is. We all know what manipulation is. We all know where it comes from. So now, you tell me, uh, manipulation. You think that today, in today's dating world, um, yesterday, years ago, um, it's manipulation, in your opinion, it's manipulation, people that want to manipulate. Is it more prevalent now than it was, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years ago?
Yes, I do agree. I think it's more accurate now opposed to 10 or 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So why you say that?
And the reason why is because I think everything is more at the palm of your hands now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is just really out to get. There's no sincerity like it was 10 or 15 years ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. You go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, and it's like 10 or 15 years ago, and maybe 20 years ago, people stood behind who they were. You know, their character mean a lot to them.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's world, it's about getting what you can get out of the deal. So you're willing to do whatever it takes to either manipulate or trick or be a narcissist or you're willing to do whatever to get what you want.
Right. So would you say social media or society in itself plays a big role in that?
Yeah, I think so. I really do think social media plays a big role because you have people that's actually broadcasting how they have manipulated someone that was close to them, or they're making it sound easy,
right?
To manipulate someone, and if that other person is trying to learn how, I mean, there it is. It's right there on social media.
Okay.
Like it's easier, and I think since it's so easier, it's more prone. Everybody is more prone to do it. and not even respecting who they are or their character. They don't care. Like
Right.
at this point, they don't even care. As long as
Okay.
they get whatever they are trying to get out of whatever the deal.
Okay. 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 I can agree with that. I can agree with that. And of course, family, we're going live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So if anyone want to call in, the number is 870-397-1219. That's 870-397-1219. Anybody want to chime in, join in the conversation? We're talking about the cost of manipulation. And like I say, we're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And so, Miss Christina, you say that it's more prevalent today than it was years ago. So now, and social media plays a big part. And I can agree with that. I feel like with social media, um, people get on there and well, let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. To me, there's many forms or ways of manipulation. And with social media today, you got people getting on there who probably wouldn't, let's say 20 years ago, before social media became a big thing, they probably wouldn't be as active or in their mind. I really don't want to use this word, but it's a word that comes to mind. They wouldn't be as attractive as they think they are. If you know what I'm saying, how social media, they put themselves out on social media. Social media made everybody attractive.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It made everybody attractive. You got, like I say, I don't want to go into the self-esteem thing or anything like that, but before social media, it wasn't that way. You see, pretty much people stayed in their lane.
Right.
As far as dating, you knew who you can approach, who was approachable. Um, um, People pretty much, and if you could, when you did approach a woman, speaking as a man, when you did approach a woman, she was more talkative. You can talk to her. Now, social media has put people in a state of mind or a frame of mind where if that right person doesn't come along, the person they have in their mind doesn't come along and talk to them, then that other person is really not worth talking to. And to me, that's a form of manipulation. That's going the other way of manipulation. Now we're gonna talk about the other side of manipulation also. But right now we're talking about the social media aspect of how people can manipulate. And to me, if a person is seeking or looking to get into a relationship, that could be a hindrance. You see, and it makes it hard. It makes it hard. And I'm just speaking about the approaching part. The approaching, approach a woman, you want to talk to this woman, and like I say, social media has put in her mind that she's the shit, to be blunt with it, and if that right person doesn't come along and talk to her, then that person who's trying is not even worth it.
Right.
And to me, that's a form of manipulation. So
yeah, I agree.
You agree? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so another way would be you got this person who comes and want to start a relationship. And I'm gonna speak, on a man's part. And you probably went through this. A man would practically say anything if he want this woman. He's going to exaggerate, lie and manipulate.
Right. Right.
you until he gets what he wants. And then, if you're into the relationship, and as you go into the relationship, the truth start coming out about that person.
Mm-hmm.
But now, by this time, you are down the road into the relationship, and you're saying to yourself, well, I can't just jump out the relationship now. I've put a lot of time and effort into this person, and you don't want to get out of that relationship, or you don't want to end that relationship like talking about it. So now you have to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Until the point where the manipulation or the manipulating has become, let's say, you're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You become callous to it.
Mm-hmm.
How callus just gets on your hand, have like a blister or whatever, and it becomes
Mm-hmm.
hard. You become callous to it. Your feelings become callous to it. You know he's manipulating. He's
Mm-hmm.
shooting the shit at you, bullshitting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Right.
accept it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and so that's the other side of the manipulation part.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that now, especially now, that is very, very prevalent today.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
and so the question is, why does it have to be that way?
Right.
Just be who you are.
Right.
Just stand on who you are, what you can do, your ability or whatever, and let the chips fall where they're gonna fall. If
Right.
this person likes you, they like you.
Right.
If they don't, they don't. You know.
Right. And like as you open up like 10 or 15 years ago opposed to now,
Mm-hmm.
it was like that. Like if they like you, they like you. If they don't, you just keep it moving,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Right.
Now it's like it's totally different. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why it's so and I can't speak for all men or
Mm-hmm.
all women,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know why it's so important now to manipulate anybody
Mm-hmm.
when at the end of the day the truth will come out.
Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to come out. It's just a matter of time.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now let me ask you, as a woman,
Go ahead. Go
um,
ahead. Go ahead.
could you give me an example of a manipulating act?
Let's see. A manipulating act of being somebody that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say I think this would be a good example.
Okay.
Saying that you make this amount of money and you know damn well you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you uproot this family
Mm-hmm.
that you've been, this woman that you've been with for a while or whatever, and you everything and went to the next level. She haven't caught you in your manipulation yet,
Mm-hmm.
and he moves that guy moved you and your family to another state,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out the truth. The
Mm.
woman finds out the truth
That's a big
about
move. That's a big move.
that's a big move, but that
Yes.
lets you know how much that woman trusted him
Right.
and believed in his every move. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything he said,
Mm-hmm.
she believed him. It
Right.
wasn't no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
And not only him saying it, but the actions as well. The actions follow those words that he said.
Mm-hmm.
So she like, okay, well, I believe in him. He's showing me, he's doing this, he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And you jump ship. You follow him.
Right. Right.
But again, okay, I'm not going to jump the gun. That's a good example.
That's okay. I
That's a
mean,
that's a good
yeah,
example.
yeah. So this man, he's manipulated this woman to the point where she moves from her family to a whole nother state, what you're
Yeah.
saying. And she's uprooted. She goes with him,
Mhm.
which, in my opinion, I don't see nothing wrong with that, because I feel
Mhm.
like, a woman, if she loves this man and she believes in what he's saying, she should go with him.
Right.
If he's, there to build, to start a family, to build, and to achieve, to build his
Mhm.
empire. She should be there. She should believe in him. She should be right there,
Right.
supportive. But on the other hand, once she gets there and she sees that everything is not what he said, that is
Mhm.
manipulation.
Right.
And the cost of that is her going to a foreign place,
Mhm.
away from her family, away from her friends,
Mhm.
believing what he said.
Mhm.
And then she finds out that everything that he sold her is not what it is.
Right.
That is the cost of manipulation.
Mhm.
So, how long does something like that last, in your opinion?
Well, I think as a woman, again, um, most women love hard, and a
Mm-hmm.
woman that actually jumped ship with this man,
Mm-hmm.
she really have to love him, especially if she already has stability at home.
Mm-hmm.
She left stability from her home, her house that
Mm-hmm.
she's paying for, all of this. She left stability to make a new family, start a new foundation in a new place.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds that out that
Mm-hmm.
he's been manipulating her. She's still gonna. The love don't fade.
Right.
The love don't fade.
Right.
The love don't fade because she knew what she was doing. She did it with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
She had thought out what she was going to do. She had a plan. So now when she finds out,
Mm-hmm.
um, she tries to have, well, she should have a conversation with him,
Mm-hmm.
and just not say, hey, you manipulated me like that,
Right.
just try
Right.
to,
Right. Uh-huh.
go around it,
Uh-huh.
not to be direct, but be indirect, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
That makes sense.
And to see where his head at, to
Right.
see, exactly where his mind at. Do he know that I know
Mm-hmm.
what I know?
Right.
Let's see where his head at.
Right.
So, and if he acts like he don't know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you got to play that card again. You're
Right.
gonna have to play that whole hand again until he get to the point that, oh, she on to me now. Because the
You got busted,
manipulation,
huh?
if it happened once, that's just, manipulation is just like a lie to
Uh-huh.
me. If you manipulate one, that's just not at the end of it. You have to keep manipulating. That's why you should be straightforward
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's just like a lie. If you tell that one lie, you finna continue to lie. The whole relationship finna be based off a lie.
Okay. Okay.
So, and that's just my philosophy. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
other people think.
Well,
But
I just got a comment on YouTube. Uh,
uh-huh.
Ms. Harmon, she said, it's so hard to see the manipulation when
Mm-hmm.
you're in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about that?
And that's right. And that's right. And I agree with her, because again,
Mm-hmm.
when you're in love and you have jumped ship with this guy, you don't think he's manipulating you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that,
Okay.
but when it comes to a point that there's that duh moment, like, well, he didn't, it's different than now than it was before we moved. So, let me pick his brain.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we still are not believing that he's manipulating us. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because he's not going to be honest with us.
Right.
He's not going to let us know, even if we're being indirect.
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna, he's not gonna be like, okay, hey, I'm manipulating you, I lied about you. But it's not gonna be lie about where I was at or whatever. They're not gonna be honest. It's not. It's just. It's gonna have. It's just gonna be a revolving door. It's gonna continue over and over again.
Right. So now let me ask you this: do you believe? And I'm asking my audience the same question. Do you believe that people can manipulate and not even be conscious of their manipulating acts or manipulating ways? Do you believe that?
No.
You don't believe that? So you think that when a person is manipulating, they're doing it purposely?
I think it's. I think it's intent. Like I said, with my philosophy, manipulation is just like a lie. You know, you finna lie. You know, you finna lie.
Right.
You know, so manipulation. You know, you finna manipulate me. Like there's no. I don't see no. No in between. It's either
so now,
lie. You know. So.
Okay, so now that's interesting how you put that, because you say, you know, a person when they're getting ready to lie to you, they know that. They know what's when they come out of their mouth is a lie. Okay, so now let's look at a chronic liar. A chronic liar lies and they believe their own lie. So they can lie to you and believe what they are saying to you is the truth or accurate of what they're saying, even though you know it's not a lie. I mean, you know it's a lie, but they can put it where in their mind or in their eyes, what they're saying to you is true. That's a chronic liar. You understand what I'm saying? In the same way with a person who's not conscious that they are manipulating, they can look at it as, I'm not manipulating. What I'm telling you is in my view, excuse me, in my view, what I'm saying is all true. What I'm telling you is in my mind is what I'm telling you is what I see. See, I've heard the term master manipulator. You ever heard that before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And see, to me, a master manipulator, that's a person that in their own view or in their eyes, what they're saying is accurate. What they're saying, they're not manipulating. They're not viewing it as that. That's why I say, do you believe that a person when they do that, some people are they conscious of their manipulating ways?
Even if you are a master manipulator, you have to. Okay, so let's just look at it like this. You don't know how to lie until when did you learn how to lie?
As a child, really.
But do you witness that, or do you just like, okay, if you see somebody, oh, they lied as a child, I'm going to try to do the same thing with my parents. That's that you learned that, right?
Right.
Okay, but before you learned how to lie, you knew that you were supposed to tell the truth because that's what mom and daddy taught you, right?
That's right. That's true.
Okay, and that's how I feel about a manipulator. Even if he's a master manipulator, that's the reason why he's a master, because he knew what manipulation was. Someone taught him how to do that.
Right.
You just don't all of a sudden just be born and know how to manipulate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, he knows what he's doing. Like even if you master it in his mind, he's like, okay, this is the truth in my mind. You know damn well that's not the truth.
Okay.
And the reason why you know that's not the truth because that's not how you was raised. You was learned. That's learned behavior.
Right. So now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think that a liar and a manipulator, is that the same? Or do you think that they are cousins?
I would say that they are. Hold on, let me think about that again. Hold on.
Okay.
Mhm. I think they are the same.
You think they are the same? So
Mhm.
now a manipulator. Okay. A liar is a liar. That there's no, to me, there's no white lie, small lie, or a nothing like that. A lie is a lie. Simple as that.
Yeah.
A manipulator to me, and this is my opinion, a manipulator can, he's not lying. He's just not being honest.
Okay, what's the opposite between honest and lying?
Okay, that's what I just been ask you. Do you believe there's a difference between being honest and a liar?
Yeah, because
is there a difference?
I mean,
is there a difference between being honest and lying?
No, it's not
It's
a
no
difference
difference?
because the simple fact, because a lie is a lie.
Okay.
Even like you said, a white lie, a brown lie, an orange lie. Even if you told some of the truth and not the whole truth, it's still a lie.
Okay.
Even if you fail to tell, the whole story, you just lied.
Okay. So
That's just if you go to the judge, the judge gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
Well, you lied because you left that part out.
Okay. So now, what about honest? Is not being honest is lying?
Not being honest is lying.
Is
so
that lying?
We can look at this in different angles because the simple fact that it depends on the situation.
Okay.
So if you ask me, for example, Christina, where did you go yesterday? And I say I went to the mall, and I went to this, or whatever.
Okay.
That's you just wanted to know where I went.
Okay.
You didn't ask what I did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
okay, so if you went to the mall, you're not lying, right?
Right.
Okay. So you're not lying and you being honest. If you went to the mall, you're being honest.
Right.
Okay, so now again, I'm asking you this question. Is being honest and lying the same thing? Or not being honest and lying the same thing?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay,
I think you said not being honest.
Not being honest and lying, is that the same thing?
Yes, it is.
You think so? So let me give you an example. I'm gonna show you what the difference is. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say I'm gonna use the mall, like you said.
Okay.
Let's say I say to you, you say to me, I saw this pair of shoes in the mall, and I want them. I say, no, you don't need those shoes. We can put that money. Let's say a pair of red bottoms or blue bottoms or something like that. $1,500, $2,000 pair of shoes, and you want them, and you say, yeah, I want these shoes. I say, no, you don't need those shoes. We can put that money on something else. Okay, and the shoes are at the mall. Okay, so now you go to the mall. You come home and I say, where you been? You say, I've been to the mall. Okay. I say, okay, so that's fine. So I say, did you buy anything? You say, yeah, I bought a few things. Okay. So everything is fine. So now, let's say 2 weeks later, I see the red bottoms in the closet. The price tag still on them. So now, did you lie to me? Or was you not being honest with me? Which one?
Considering the fact that you said that I didn't need the shoes right then and there, I did lie.
Did you no?
I,
You didn't. You lied. What did you lie about? Tell me what did you lie. You lied about what? You explained to me. You said I've been to the mall and I bought a few things. So now, did you lie or was you not being honest?
I just wasn't being honest.
Thank you. So what's the difference? You honest,
it just
being
depends
honest.
on it. I think to me, it really depends on the actual situation at hand.
Okay, and I can go with that. But
yeah, I think
in that scenario right there, you just wasn't being honest. You didn't lie. You went to the mall and you bought a few things. You didn't lie. That's what you did. You didn't lie.
Right.
You just didn't tell me what you bought. That's all. That's it. So you wasn't being honest. Thank you. So you just wasn't being honest about what you bought. That's it. So there's a difference between lying and being honest. Now, if you had been honest, you would have said, yeah, I went to the mall and I bought those red bottom shoes that I wanted. That would have been honest.
Right.
But you didn't lie. You didn't lie.
Right.
You see?
I agree.
So yeah.
I agree.
So now that's why I said, does manipulation and lying are they cousins or is it the same? I would say they are cousins. They're close cousins. They're not the same because a person can manipulate and not lie to you. They just manipulate. That's it. They can tell you a lot of things. They're just dancing around the truth. That's it. But they're not lying. You see? Lying, to me, in my opinion, lying is direct. You see what I'm saying? It's direct. You know? Did you drive my car today? No. And you know you did. That's a lie. You see? Did you drive my car to the store? No. You went to the store. You stopped by the store. Did you drive my car to the store? No, that's a lie. Did you drive my car? Yes. Where did you stop at? Here, there. That's not being honest. You see, you just not saying what you did. I went over there. I stopped over here. I stopped over there. You just not saying where. You were still not being honest. I stopped at the store. Lying is direct. Being honest is dancing around the truth or a lie. You see, that's manipulation. And when a person, a master manipulator, learns how to do that, to dance around, not directly lie to you, but have you believe something that he wants you to believe. He's not lying. He's just not being honest. That's it. That's a master manipulator. He knows how to do that, or she knows how to do that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Now that you broke it down, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, a lot of people don't look at it that way because they think that manipulation or they're being manipulated is lying to. It's not necessarily so. It's not necessarily so, you know, because of the fact that we all, you know, especially when we are contemplating or wanting to be in a relationship, certain things you hear can cloud your mind because you want to be in that relationship. And this person is telling you all the things that you want to hear. You see, it feels good to you. That's where it's easy to manipulate now. A master manipulator can pick up on that. You see, because you're listening and he can tell where everything that comes out of his mouth, you're picking up on, you're eating it up, you know. And so in your mind, he can't say nothing wrong. You see, if that man say he was an elephant trainer in India, you might believe it. You see. In your mind, he's not saying nothing wrong, because you're feeding off of his energy, you're feeding off his vibe, and you feeling him, and you want this relationship, you want this to work, and what he's saying to you it sounds good to you, and it feels good to you. So the manipulation comes easy. But now, after you've been through all of this, you've been through the rigors of a manipulator. You picks up on that. You see,
right.
when he's throwing the bullshit at you now. You see, you know to tell him you can go on with that, man. Yeah. You see,
yeah.
And it's the same way. It's the same way with a woman. Most men who's I see a lot of women say, "Please come healed." Or be healed from your last or previous relationship. If a man is not completely healed, if he was really, really into that woman he was into and the relationship didn't work out, he's vulnerable just like a woman could be.
Right.
You see, it's all about emotions. He's vulnerable to the next woman that comes along who looks good, who sounds good. She can feed him a bag of beans, and he's gonna eat it all. And she's gonna do all the right things, because in a woman's mind, and it's just my opinion, I'm not a woman, that's why I got you on the show. In her mind, she's looking for that man that can provide, protect, and communicate. And so she probably didn't have that in a previous relationship. And she finds someone that she thinks, of course, that relationship or that encounter has to go down the road for her to see certain things. Can this man provide? Is he a good protector? Is he a good communicator? So now she sees these things. She's down the road in a relationship with him. Now here comes the manipulation. You see, this woman might have had a shady past. This woman might like expensive things. Likes to travel a lot. So she's gonna go by the way that of manipulation to get these things.
Right.
You see? Whether this man can afford these things or not. This is what she wants. And so there's a form of manipulation that's going to come. That's why I asked that question. Do you think people can manipulate and not even be conscious of the fact that they're manipulating? I think they can. I think that's true. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
So you say when they manipulate, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, because they know what they want. They know their intentions. They know. I mean, like you said, she know that she has an expensive taste, or she like to travel. Yeah. I mean, I think they know. Like, how can you not know?
Right.
Like,
and you can, like I say, you can. A lot of things you can do in life, and not be conscious that this can affect another person.
Yeah.
You see, you're not conscious of it because you're so used to it. You see what I'm saying? A chronic liar,
Right.
a chronic liar, a chronic liar is a person that constantly lies to the point where they believe their own lies. They
Yeah.
don't care about if it affects the next person. Look, we got a president up in the office in the White House right now.
Right.
Do you think this man is very conscious of the things that comes out of his
Uh-uh.
mouth? He's so used to that.
Mhm.
He's been doing it all his life.
Right.
So
Right.
he's so used to it. He's not even
But
conscious of certain things.
but don't you know? Well, do you think that he knows that he's manipulating? Don't I mean that's the part that I'm trying to understand. Don't even if a person is conscious of it and they do it all the time and it's
Mm-hmm.
normalized
Mm-hmm.
because they have did it so much in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think they? What do you think that they know it's a form? They know that they're doing wrong. Like they know that they're manipulating.
I
Do you?
think I think to a degree, because once you can get away with something,
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah.
continue to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
You're
see,
right.
you're going to continue to do it. And if nobody checks you on it,
Mm-hmm.
if you never got caught doing it, it becomes repetitious. It becomes a normal thing to you. You see, and with manipulation, it's the same way. If you've been manipulating all your life and you've been getting away with it, it becomes a part of you. You see, you do it so much to you don't have no feelings about whether it's offensive, whether it's hurting. It's not. It's like I said about the calluses in your hands. You become callous to it. That's a person gets to that point. You see, and that's why, and they are not conscious of what they are doing. They don't look at it as a manipulating thing no more. So it doesn't bother them.
Mm.
They're not conscious of it. And so that's what I'm talking about when I say, do you think that a person does it and not even conscious of it anymore? Because they become numb to it. That's a master
Yeah, you got a
manipulator.
point. You have a point there.
Yeah, that's a
Because they're
master
so
manipulator.
habitual with it and
Right,
they been doing it all their lives.
right,
It doesn't. It's nothing. It's like breathing air. Like
right,
it's
right.
normal.
It just rolls
Yeah.
off their tongue just
Right.
like anything
Right.
else. It doesn't bother them. You
Hmm.
see, that's a master manipulator. That's
Right.
what they do.
Right.
You know. But now, like you said, manipulating and lying is the same thing. You have to be conscious or aware that a person is manipulating you. If you can pick up on it, you see.
Yes. Yes.
And so once you pick up on it, now you can deal with that.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
now the thing is, how can you tell
And
today,
that was
especially today?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
in today's dating world, you know how people are, social media and all that. How can you tell? You can't until you are down the road in that relationship. You're in it. Now the true colors start to come.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
see, now the truth about this person comes forward.
Right. And I also think um, if you have been a person that has been manipulated in the past relationships,
Mm-hmm.
that's one area that you're going to always have your radars up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, like with me,
Mm-hmm.
my radars is up, and
Right.
I am paying attention to the things that I once did not
Hmm.
pay attention to.
Okay. Give me an example.
Um,
Give me an example. Like what do you pay attention to now that you didn't used to?
um, so we probably don't have a lot of time, and it's, but
Mhm. We
I
got
have to
plenty.
pay attention to where I am in my space,
Okay.
in my mental state.
Okay.
Where am I in need? Where's my weaknesses at?
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know, and displaying some vulnerabilities, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So if I'm just I have to just pay attention to those things
Hmm.
within myself.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then with that being said,
Hmm.
share these things with that other person
Hmm.
was sort of like, depending on his response
Hmm.
and his reaction and how he reacts in
Right.
things,
Hmm.
will it would give me, I won't be so quick to say, okay, yes.
Hmm.
It'll give me enough time to sort of try to, I hate to use this word, but it's real, dissect the whole situation, if that
Right.
makes
That
sense.
makes sense. I mean, you are making the choice to open yourself up to another person.
Right.
And so every precaution,
Mm-hmm.
every um, thought should go into that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because, like I say, you are opening yourself up to another person. You know, and so everything that you have to do to protect you, you
Right.
should do. I agree with that
Right.
totally. I agree with that
Right.
totally. I mean, if you've been in a past relationship that didn't work, that didn't pan out, or whatever the case may be, you're going to be cautious of the next
Yeah.
if another one
Yeah.
comes along. You're going to move slowly. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
do the things the mistakes that you made. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes. You should. If not,
Yeah.
you're doomed to repeat them. That's just what
Yeah.
it is. You know. And so if you don't do these things, you're opening yourself back up to be hurt,
Mm-hmm.
to be disappointed, all of
Yes.
that. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. You know, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So yeah, um, and that's with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again with the same results. Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
definitely insanity.
yes. So I know you don't want to look at yourself as an insane person.
Right.
You
Right.
know, because the relationship didn't work out. He's the crazy one, not me.
Right. Right.
That's the
Right.
way I want to look at it. No, I ain't the crazy one. She's the crazy one. You
Right.
know, I did what I supposed to have been done to make this thing work, to make this thing, grow, to make it
Mm-hmm.
prosper. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the goal of any relationship is to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
goal is to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to get in a hole and just stay right there.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
you're not going nowhere. You're spinning your
Right.
wheels. You're not doing nothing. You know,
Right.
so when you are entering a new relationship, contemplating going into a new relationship or whatever, you want to move cautiously. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all human. We all made mistakes in the past.
Of
Everybody got
course.
a story. You know,
Yeah.
everybody has a story. And especially if you've been in a relationship and it's over with, the story is it's the same. We are not together. That's the story. Now how you came to that point, That's different.
Right.
But the bottom line is we are not together.
Right.
That's the story, you know. But now, what we are talking about is how do we get to that point? Was manipulation involved in the beginning, in the middle, or in the end, or all? You know.
Manipulation probably was involved. It starts from. I think it would start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. You think it starts from the
Um,
beginning?
yeah, I think it starts from the beginning, and I can't foresee it starting in the middle of a
Mm-hmm.
relationship unless something just detrimental happened
Mm-hmm.
to the female, that she lost confidence in herself or anything. Something could have just happened to make her weak.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe manipulation could start then, but I think it starts from the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think. I think if a person is a manipulator and they're good at what they do, I think if a person is in a relationship, whether that relationship is a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, I think that person can manipulate all the way through. I think they can. I think it has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's in the beginning, because once the manipulation starts in the beginning, they have to keep that up.
Of course. Yes.
You see, of course, it's gonna start right there, but now
Yes.
it's gonna keep going.
Yeah. You can't stop it.
You can't
It's
stop
just
it.
like a lie. You
Right.
can't. You cannot stop the manipulation at
Hmm.
all, and it does start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it just, and it just keeps going.
Hmm.
You can't like stop doing it. Like
Right.
it's you can't. I don't see how it can how a person can stop manipulating. It's just
Right.
like lying. Like you
Right.
just can't stop lying. You're gonna
Hmm.
have to keep
You got to
lying.
keep it up. You have to keep it up. You have to keep it up. And that's sad.
It
Especially
is.
if you in a relationship and y'all building something together, y'all flourishing together, y'all blossoming together, y'all prospering together, and you have to keep manipulating. To me, a manipulating person is just to get out what they can get out of this person.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's all through life,
Mhm.
and that's a
Mhm.
sad thing.
Mhm.
When you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have to.
Right.
You're there. You know, I mean, you have expectations. You expect this person to do certain things. You don't have to manipulate them to do certain things. If you're in that relationship with them, especially if you're under the same roof, you
Right.
shouldn't
Right.
have to do that. They should
Mhm.
know that. And
Mhm.
it's like you said earlier, you don't have to be direct. You don't have to be, why you have to say that to get what you want out of me? Why you have to do that
Right.
to get what you don't have to do that? You shouldn't have to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If that person is attentive to you and know you, they know how you feel about certain things.
Right. Right. And they're gonna do whatever if it's not like life threatening. Of course,
Right.
no, they're
Not
not. But
detrimental to
if
the
they're gonna do
relationship.
what, yeah, detrimental, they're gonna do whatever that makes him happy.
Right.
Like there, it's not required for you to be or just be somebody or try to put up a front. Like it's just not required. All you have to do is say, "Hey, baby, I like this.
Hmm.
Can you
Hmm.
do this for me?" Or
Right.
I like the road like that, or whatever.
Right.
Because that woman 9 times out of 10, when she sees him
Hmm.
be very direct on what he's wanting,
Hmm.
she's gonna be comfortable enough to say, "Hey, baby, I like it. I like this way, or I like to do this." It just opens up so much clarity and understanding and communication and respect,
Right.
will you just be honest and say, hey, I like it this way, or let's do it this way, or let's go this place, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Like it just doesn't require to just be indirect. Like
Right.
it just takes too much energy. It takes too much time.
Exactly.
You know, then
Exactly.
you lose focus off what you're really trying to do. It's not required.
Right.
It's just not required at all.
Right. Right. I mean, that's I say this a lot. When you're dealing with another person, especially when you're in a relationship with another person, get to know who and what you're dealing with as much as
Mm-hmm.
you possibly can. I mean, of course, you're not gonna fully know a person. That's impossible. I don't
Right.
care if you've been up for 30 years, they can still do something that's surprising to
Right.
you. But get to know this person as much as you possibly can. You get to know their likes, their dislikes, their wants, their
Mm-hmm.
needs, and all that. And so, like I say, you get to a point where certain things you don't have to try to manipulate this person to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to because they know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when you get to that point with a person, just a simple look, you can look at them a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and they know what's on your mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can touch them a certain way, they know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Your body
Right.
language can tell them a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
of what's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's getting to know each other. That's not manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? That's getting to know that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the relationship is, in my opinion, that's where the relationship is tight. You have something solid.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
see,
Definitely.
you don't have that raggedy thing where you say something, then it turns into something else, into an argument or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's raggedy to me.
Right.
You know, you don't want that.
Right.
And every time you get to a point where you get kind of skittish of saying what's on your mind
Mm-hmm.
instead of having to manipulate that person to get to that point with something that's on your mind. You understand? You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
that's the bad part about manipulation. You see, people look at manipulation. You look at that word. You look at what it is. You think that the first thing come to your mind is you're trying to fool me. You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get over on me.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulation comes in many, 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 many forms.
Right. Right. Right.
You see, and getting to like I say, when you are with a person and you want to get to a point where you don't want to have to do that. Go to those extremes. To me, that's an extreme thing. You don't want to
Right.
have. You don't shouldn't have to do that. Not if your relationship is tight and solid. A
Right.
look, a body movement, a touch. That tells a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That can tell a lot. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Question. I
Mhm.
have a question
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
So, do you think people that does the manipulation
Mhm.
intentionally or unintentionally, do you think they do that because they don't want to, they fear, not don't, they
Mhm.
fear of being judged?
Well, let me start with this. When you say the word judge, let me put it this
Uh-huh.
way. Um, I look at judging a person. I look at this. I look at that like this. You're not judging them per se, the person.
Mm-hmm.
You're judging their actions.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
You see, so I look at that right there. And so now, when you say a person is doing this with the fear of not wanting to be judged, or I look at they may not know how to communicate
Okay.
to the
Yep.
point where they don't want to be, when you say judge, they don't want to be judged of what they say. They don't know how
Mhm.
to say the right thing
Mhm. Mhm.
at the right moment. So they
Mhm.
use manipulation.
Mhm.
You see, um, that comes with communication, knowing how
Mhm.
to knowing how to communicate. We communication is just not a back and forth conversation. In my
Right.
opinion, communication is knowing how to listen. Communication is knowing how to say the right thing at the right time.
Mhm.
Communication is knowing how to look at a person and see that, like I say, you can use certain facial expressions, your body movement, your body English. That's forms of communication. You see, like I say, some people don't know how to be direct, say what's on their mind. They have to use
Mhm.
manipulation to get that
Mhm.
across.
Mhm.
So I could say, yeah, they can be in fear of being judged,
Mhm.
but on the other hand, they just don't know how to do it. You see,
Mhm.
they just don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to say the
Yeah.
right thing at the right time, what needs to be said. I'm pretty sure you've said to yourself, you said to a person that said the wrong thing, and you said,
Mhm.
well, you should have said this.
Mhm. Mhm.
You
Yeah.
see, that's what you should have said. That
Right.
would have been the correct answer.
Right. Right.
You see, that's not knowing how to say the right thing at the right time.
Mhm.
You see, some people talk before they think.
Mhm. Mhm.
You see, and when you should be thinking before you talk.
Right.
You
Right.
see, so yeah, I look at it like that. Mhm. Yeah, but that's some people, they just do that. That's what it is. That's the day we live in. That's the dating
Mhm.
world. That's just what that is. It's sad, like I say. You shouldn't have to, but it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is. As long as you got your antennas up and you can pick up on that bullshit,
Right.
you know, you
Right.
you can pick up on them. Hey, you know how to shut it down as soon as you hear it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what to do about it. You see, so that's what it is. But yeah, that was a good show. Um, the cost of manipulation. You know,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Miss Christina. Um, we're gonna have another good topic next week. Hopefully, you can join again. I want you to be my co-host. And my last
Mhm.
co-host, she bailed on me. I guess she decided she didn't want to do it no more, and that's okay. Everybody have their thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But I always love that woman's point of view. I don't just want to give my opinion on on topics. It always takes two.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to just talk about it and give my opinion. People would say, "Well, that's what you think. That's what you think." That's why I need that woman's point of view. And
Yeah.
for my audience, men, call in. I want you to call in, join into the conversation. Give me what you think. Give me your opinion. This is an opinionated show. These just are just opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. It's just my opinion. It's Christina's opinion. You know, that's what makes the Dating Shame podcast. So that's what that is. And like I said, Christina, I appreciate it. And I hope next week, whatever the topic is, you can join in. We can talk about it. We can do it again.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off what you just said,
Mhm.
the opinions can be learning utensils for anyone, and
Mhm.
that's why it's good to share each other's opinions and point
Right.
of views. Because, like you, I would disagree with you earlier, and then you explained to me, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that does make sense.
Right.
So yeah, it's very valuable information when people share their opinions, because you
Right.
never know who's going to be receptive or who's going to learn from that and
Right.
need it.
Right. Right. And that's why I admonish anybody who want to be a part of the show. You're looking at the show, give your opinion, put your comments in. I'm on Facebook Live. YouTube live. Join in. The show is growing. I want to make it a success, and I can't do it without all of y'all. And that's what that is. And so, like I said, Miss Christina, I appreciate it. I appreciate your opinion. It's valued. Um, I like that seasoned woman.
You're welcome.
That experience. I like that. I value that a lot. And like I say, next week we're gonna do it again, and hopefully you can be there. And give me your intake and your that woman's opinion.
I will too. I'll be there.
All right. You have a good week. Have a good night, and we'll talk again next week.
All right. You do the same.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, family. That was a good show. We had a good topic, opinion, the cause of manipulation. That was a good show. And we look forward again, like I say, next week to another topic. And so, like I say, that's a nice show. And we'll be doing it again. So everybody, y'all have a good week. Be safe out there. And we'll see you next week. That's the Dating Shame. Why is it so hard? Peace.